What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We got the 87, 88, and 89, 90 exchange exchange battle. We're going to see which set gives out the most profit, if there's any profit at all. Got a comment the other day asking if the 89, 90 exchange is still profitable. We're going to go and check it out. So we're going to go first kind of into the 87, 88, what my filters are, what I got all the cards for, and what I like to do with the concerns with lazy selling and how I like to sell the cards, that type of thing. But of course, the sets, you need three, 85, 86 overall cards for the 87, 88, and then of course 3, 87 or 88, but of course you're going to choose the lower overall. So we got the 10, 87, 88 overall elite player packs ready. The filters I used for the 85 overalls was very simple. There was really only two filters I was using, and it was just legends and team of the week. I will say team of the week I probably had more success on for the 84, 85, and again, just put it on newest. I was recording this, I say, in the more afternoon on a Sunday. The market was a little dead, so if it's more of a active market on a more like Saturday, Friday night, you probably have to go all offense, all defense. But I was just picking up these guys, and my target price was anything 4K or below. Of course, I picked up a couple above 4.1, 4.2. There weren't really many crazy snipes. They come up pretty often, I would say. We'll talk about the 87 filter, but the 85 filter, they'd pop up for 3.5 to 4K. Nothing crazy snipe-wise, but for the most part, like 3.5 to 3.9 was the average I was paying for. But I'd say 4K or under is my like target price and below, so we're gonna be counting it as a 12K per every 87, 88 exchange, totaling equal 120K spent on these 10 rerolls. And I'm gonna not go super fast, but 150% speed on the packs. I won't have to sit here and watch all the packs, but 88 Aaron Donald on the first pack was actually nutty. I think that's one of the more expensive 88s you can pull. The other ones, I will say, the 87, 88s, the best I'd say like animation you want to see is probably the core elite, because there are a lot of guys like Tom Brady, Aaron Donald, TJ Watt, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Those guys go for, I'd say, above training value for an 88 overall. But you see a lot of 88s actually in the first half of this, but we definitely slow down. Here's another 88. Whenever you see that animation, ultimate kickoff 88 overall. At that time, it was Bud Dupree. Team of the week. Team of the weeks weren't that good, but Roquan Smith. I'm actually going to be using that Roquan Smith in the 87, 88 exchange pack, so FYI there. Marvin Jones. I think we have 2 or 3 more packs. No, this might be the last pack. I think it is Kyler Murray. That wasn't actually a bad pull, but now after you pull those packs, you need to go and check out the lazy seller price for each overall, so you know at worst you can set them at that price in case they're below that. So the 87 overalls, it was looking like there's 11.7. I'd say more around the 12K mark for an 87. So if you see your 87 overall at like 10K, don't list it for 9.9, just list it for 12K 1 hour, and it will eventually sell. So 12K seems to be the price for the 87. Eventually, I'll get over to the 88. I will say the 87 filter, I was a little skeptical of it because there are a lot of 86 overall playoff cards kind of, I don't know, flooding this sort of filter, so it made it really hard to see the lazy buyer price. For the 88, 89, though, it was very easy since it's the 88 is the lowest overall in the filter. Of course, 88, 89. It was really around the 16K mark. I saw Joe Thuney, saw some legends. The playoff cards, not really. Of course, if you pull a playoff guy, I mean, Super Bowl pass, you're going to have to list for like 15.5, but for the most part, it seemed about 16K. And then for the cards listed, I'm just going to show one of them. You have to trust me, I list them all for the cheapest price, and I'll show you the prices I list them for. But Aaron Donald was definitely the best pull, going for 39K, and I'm actually not going to list him because he's our Super Bowl present investment, so I'm going to hold on to him for a few more days. Justin Tucker also was a pretty good pull. But now moving on towards the, I'd say all the cards up. I'm actually going to list Justin Tucker up, but remember, patience when it comes to selling off your cards, every single one. If you see kind of a discrepancy between like cards up, let's say for 20K, 30K, list it for like 27, 28. Always use that recent sell filter or recent sell, I don't know, addition to the game to see actually what the cards are actually selling at instead of just whatever is up on the block. But here you can see 120K spent. If you add up all the prices before tax, it's going to be 193K. Remember, adding Aaron Donald at 39K to these 10 cards, that's going to be 173.2K after tax, for a nice solid profit of 53.2K. The notable cards that went for above trading value: Justin Tucker, Aaron Donald, Kyler Murray for an 87 at 17K, and I actually probably undervalued him. He was more going for around 20K. I don't know why I listed for 17K. The legends didn't really go for anything too crazy. Luke Kuechly 17.8, but 53.2K I think it was. Very solid. Probably took me about, I'd say, 20-25 minutes to snipe all those players, having to snipe 30 total 85 overalls. But now moving on to the 87, 88. The 87 filter that I used was really just one filter with a little bit of the team of the week. It was predominantly the 87 legend filter, just going newest, or 86, 87 going to the newest. And well, the price for the 87s is a little bit higher. It's like at 11K, But the snipes, you can see by the snipes on the screen right now, you see an 8.7 and 9.8. The 87 legends get posted for very, very below the actual like training filter, because we know 87's lazy sell for 12k. These guys pop up for like 8.5, 9k, very, very frequent, like almost every, I'd say 10-15 seconds they pop up. On average, I'd say the maximum I was paying for an 87 overall was 10.5k, so that's what I'm going to give. I said 4k for the 85 filter, I'm going to say 10.5 for the 87 filter, so it's going to equaling out in total for like I think it's 315k for 10, 87, 88 packs. But you can see by the bids, a ton of guys like under 10.5. You can see 9.3, 9k, 9.9. If I go even lower, there's some crazy ones. I think I got one for like 5.6 or something. I think it was a Thomas, or no, Leroy Selman for 5.9. It was a lot easier to snipe these guys than it was the 85 overalls. But here we go. 10, 87, 88 packs, 315k spent. I will say, going into it, I did not think I was going to make much profit on these packs, just because I knew the 90 overall lazy sell filter was about like 32, 33k going into it, which meant, well, with the pack costing, I think it's 31.5k per roll. I was like, I'm skeptical if the 89 overalls don't go for like at least 25k, we're probably not going to make. I was really thinking going into it I was going to lose a lot of coins in this actual like just 10 batch, but Broderick Thomas there pulled a lot of actually 90 overalls. There's a Keyshawn Johnson, that wasn't too bad of a pull. We really get bailed out at the end by a team of the week card that we'll get into. Walter Payton 90 overall, and I will say we're going to go check out the lazy buy filter for the 89 and 90 overalls, and it's a lot higher than I expected. I didn't realize the market went up this much even just the last few days. 89 overall Roy Williams, that was probably the worst pull out of the 10. I couldn't tell you. I should have went on MuchGG and seen like the most expensive 90 overalls, but this is one of them. Zach Ertz 90 overall, of course. He just got that 95 overall Super Bowl pass player, and you're going to see he goes for quite a lot of coins for the 89.90 lazy sell price at the current time. Remember, you're going to have to do your own things. It's going to change by the hour. 89 overalls lazy selling, again, like 25k. It was really hard to justify it because they're not the lowest overall in the filter, so they don't really like, it's harder to sell the odd numbers lazy selling is what I'm trying to say. 89 overalls though looked about 25k, not too bad. For the 90s, this is where I was surprised because I was selling these guys for 32.5k just last night, I want to say, and now they're all the way up to 36, I would say 38k for non-Super Bowl pass cards. Tony Romo 39 point, I'd even say probably 39k. I undervalued a couple of my 90 overalls, but here's Zach Ertz, the price he goes for. Like I listed him up for 65k, the lowest being 67, and that was an amazing pull. That really was the bulk of our, and I will say, profit in this actually 10 batch was the Zach Ertz. But now going into the auction, I'll show you guys all the cards we listed up. You guys, trust me, these are the cheapest prices. I mean, most of them are pretty much just like lazy sell prices. The 90 overalls especially, 315k spent, 388 2k before tax getting back, that being 350k after tax for a nice solid profit of 35k. So not as much as the 87, 88 overall exchange, and I kind of knew that going into it because this one was a lot more expensive. I mean, 85 overall is going for 4k, 87 is about 10.5. Of course, I got them for cheaper prices, so I probably made a little bit more, around I'd say 42k profit if I want to like really crunch the numbers. But we always want to do the maximum, like that worst possible. You're gonna be spending 31.5k on an 87 or an 89 exchange pack, and then what is it, 12k on the 87, 88. So there you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, I'd say bro, the 87, 88 exchange doesn't look too bad. There's a lot of core leads, especially, and we're getting into more NFL honors. I'd say TJ Watt's price is probably going to go up in value. There's probably some other cards getting some honors upgrades, but that's all for the video. Comment if you have any questions, like, enjoy, subscribe if you're new. Discord link in the description. I'll be streaming like an hour or two after this video uploads, and until then, peace.